much. Let's take a question from the Youth Parliament. The speaker is the Right Honorable Kobe Fabian.
Thank you, Doctor, for that excellent presentation. Youth Parliament is looking forward to having you to talk about your plans for the youth of this country. Whilst I'm here, I have a question for you. Youth unemployment in Ghana has reached very explosive proportions over the years, with about 200,000 young people coming out of school every year. And it is alarming to also know that about 48% of young people 18 to 24 are unemployed. About 4 days ago, Youth Parliament moved a motion endorsing that youth unemployment is becoming a national security issue. One thing that I am disappointed when I visited your office speaking to your youth organizer was the fact that there isn't a manifesto with just a few months into election for young people to be able to actually evaluate and analyze what plans you have for them, except the 2012 manifesto that exists. Now, my question is that what will be your immediate steps to arrest the unemployment crisis in your first 12 months in office? And in doing so, with these numbers coming out of school, how are you going to synchronize the skills that they acquire in the academic institutions with the needed skills from the very limited job market, so there can be some level of equilibrium?
Thank you very much.
Yes, if you heard my presentation, I said that the 18 to 35 have been identified as a new force. And I have said that each 18 to 35-year-old in my book is like an atom. It's like an atom. If you've done science, you know that atoms are the smallest particles in matter. And when you put those atoms together in a certain way, you get an atomic bomb. And when you drop it, you destroy Hiroshima. Now, young people, if they are not mobilized and encouraged to do useful things, will eventually rise up. That is why we have this policy. So we have identified that if the agri programs that we are talking about, we can implement them. As I said, I was 27. And at that time, there were no KAYs, because the rice farming that was going on in the north created employment for these young girls who are sleeping on the streets in Accra. You know, not everybody would like to go into farming, yes, but you have agro-business or agricultural related industries. You know, even, you know, when you do rice whole scale and you have a rice mill, some people have to bag it. It's a job. So we believe that through that process of improving on agriculture, adding value, the jobs will be created. And with regard to my manifesto, I just said it here that it is at the validation stage and will be shortly launched. And there's something in there for you, considering that in our theme, we have already identified them as either an asset or a liability, depending upon how we treat them.
Not to overstrate the issue, but he was specifically wanted what you would do within the first 12 months. And then the second part of the question had to do with the skills gap. So are you saying that the agric answer addresses both?
No. In my presentation, I said that we will link industry and training, supply and demand, so that what we are saying is that young people, in fact, I have said somewhere that our educational system has not taught us to make use of what we have. If you are a child growing up in the cocoa growing area, you are going with your father to the cocoa farm, the beans, what can you do with it? The pod, what can you do with it? You know? So linking what we study in school with what we have in our environment is one way. But within the first 12 to 24 months, we said we'll have the youth unemployment. Because you know farming is a seasonal activity. We are in the second raining season for the South, you know. And if you had decided to do a tomato farm or rice farm or whatever, you'll be benefiting. I'm also working with a gentleman, I won't mention his name, but he's had a memorandum of understanding with UDS and Tech to get some of their students who are in agric-related businesses to come to a land he's developing in the north, 1,000 hectares, to understudy him, because he has calculated that somebody who comes there and learns what he is offering can make in his first year out of school about 90,000 Ghana cedis. There's no job that is going to give you that kind of money. And I've already said that I went to America. My wife is here, she will testify, with money in my pocket from rice farming after only 3 years. So there are businesses that people don't know about, nobody has told them, and they haven't looked at it from that point of view, you know, and that's what we want to do.
All right.